Ahoy, you salty sailors. Time to raise anchor and set sail for your best scrawny life. Arrgh! Alright, our species spotlight for this episode is Dame's Rocket. So this is a member of the Brassicaceae, the mustard family. Therefore, it is an edible plant. And you'll recall in a previous episode, we were using lactofermentation on the garlic mustard and black mustard to make them more palatable. This one does not have that strong mustard flavor. It's mild enough to be eaten raw. You'll note here these developing seed heads are alternately arranged on the raceme. This is an invasive species. It's native to Eurasia and has escaped cultivation here in the U.S. It is a biennial. It has the 4 petaled flowers like all Brassicaceae. It has the lanceolate leaves that lack a petiole or stem. It's either completely missing or very reduced. And of course the leaves are alternately arranged. Now this could be confused with phlox, which is a spring ephemeral wildflower. With phlox, the flowers have 5 petals, and the leaves are arranged oppositely. Whereas with Dame's Rocket, the leaves are arranged alternately, and being Brassicaceae, it has 4 petals. Now, while you're observing your Dame's Rocket, you might stumble across giant hogweed, also known as cow parsnip. You'll remember in the last episode we had our first look at the family Apiaceae, the carrot family or parsley family. They are also sometimes known as the umbellifers because of the umbel that their flowering head takes. Being related to true parsnips, if you get the juice of it on your skin and then your skin is exposed to sunlight before you can wash it off, it is capable of producing a severe chemical burn. And of course, another plant that likes those riparian areas is our old friend Xanthoxylum americanum. Well, I did get the kayak out on the rivers. It's been the first time since my back injury, so I couldn't push it real hard. I just hit a couple decent bends, so it's not going to be as fast-paced a video as it normally would be, but caught a few fish, and we're just going to enjoy them a little bit more. We were into the white bass. The white bass have migrated up this river from the Des Moines River, and it depends on the species, of course. White bass, of course, migrate very long distances. Walleyes migrate. Smallmouth bass migrate more than people think. There aren't many large smallmouths in this river right now because last year, during the drought, when the river got really low, all the big fish left the river and returned to the Des Moines River, spent the winter in the Des Moines, and since then they have not returned to this river in large numbers. At least it didn't appear that they had. They may migrate more than people think, but we had some luck on the white bass. They were running good. It looks like they were actually dropping back down to return to the Des Moines River after their spawning run. You have to take the opportunity to fish the rivers when you can in Iowa. You may only get just a few opportunities where the right level and the right stability so the river isn't muddy all comes together with a day that you have off work and when the weather is nice and it's not raining. A lot of factors have to come together to produce a good day on the river. So when it happens, you got to jump on it. You may only get 2 or 3 days like that in a year. So even though I kind of had figured there wouldn't be a lot of large smallmouth in the river, I went ahead and took the opportunity because all those factors had come together to make a good, enjoyable day on the river. Weather was perfect, so had to jump on it. So I hooked a carp that they were feeding next to a log that was kind of along the edge of the river. And they're very wary of an overhead presentation, but it was the only way I could get the fly to where they were feeding without getting caught on that log. So I wasn't able to film it. It was just a really vertical situation, and I had to stand perfectly still and just slowly let the fly down in front of it. But eventually it did take. And there was actually a much larger one there too, but I got the smaller of the two. So we're just going to sit back. Normally I'd rush through this fight, but we're just going to sit back and enjoy it. The fly was a dragonfly nymph imitation. It has a dumbbell, 5/32 dumbbell eyes, and this one has two size 6 bait holder hooks, really strong forged hooks, articulated together with like 30-pound braid or something, just so they don't break apart. So yeah, two number 6 hooks. There's some rubber legs and some chenille, kind of give it that dragonfly larva look. The thing about carp, they can be resting. You have to kind of evaluate their activity state. If they're resting, they just simply will not eat. And if you spook them, they'll spook the whole rest of the school. So you have to target those fish that are in a high activity state. These were browsing along the bottom, so that's a fairly high activity state.
All right, buddy, you got to get this fish because I want to see it.
It's just a carp.
I don't care. I ain't seen a fish all day. I want to see a fish. You're the man for it.
Oh, look at that. He looked at it.
I do.
You still got him, though. You ain't dropped him.
Not yet.
That's a good start.
Weighs like 4 or 5 pounds, huh?
Yeah, probably. I suppose.
Heck yeah. Well, have a good day, buddy.
Yep,
Hopefully you keep catching some stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. You
Maybe.
eat that?
I say he's probably 3 pounds.
No, that's good.
That's still a good fish. I'd be happy to catch him. Well, you get off?
No, I don't. No, still there.
But yeah, this carp put up a great fight. That's why I chase them. It's not for food or anything. It's because it's fun. You know, you can expect them to take a fly once you make a good presentation. You want to bring the fly into. You want to cast beyond the feeding carp so you don't spook it with the fly entering the water. Then you need to bring the fly into the fish's zone of vision, which is very small. It's focused on the bottom when they're feeding on the bottom. They have a very small window where they're actually going to see the fly. So anyway, the fly doesn't have any scent or anything. So once the fish has seen it, though, you want to move the fly. You want to position yourself in a way that you can move the fly away from the fish. If it charges towards them, they'll spook. You want it, even though it's only a small fly, you need to, once they see it, you want to move it away from them. You really have to make the most of those prime days to be on the rivers. You only get so many in a year. But this one worked out pretty well.